Greetings, everyone. My name is Lazarus Makwena, and I'm quickly going to talk to you about the key issue of language and culture within xenophobia. I think from the onset, let's start and look at the importance language plays. A lady with the name Elizabeth Keating says that language plays a vital role in establishing and maintaining culture. She continues to say that language and culture are linked in the transmission of knowledge, in the construction of social life, and in the ideologies about language use and its relation to human behavior. William Keyser adds to that by saying that language can bring a sense of unity and identity and belonging among people. But it can also be an all too glaring marker of differences between people, and it can be used to discriminate and isolate. Al-Shamari adds to that by saying that the importance of language is found that language reflects our identity and it delivers our culture. Now think about this. Immigrants, people coming from other countries, coming from different backgrounds and different cultures, they obviously have a language barrier when they enter into South Africa. When they enter into South Africa, they solely depend on English. And that makes it difficult for them to be assimilated into the culture and the language. The fact that they depend only on English. William Keyser wrote about examples within the Joburg area context, where when the foreigners goes to places like the shops and hospitals and other institutions, and they try to communicate with English, then they are laughed at. There are people laughing at them, and they are immediately labeled as Makwerakweras, which is in actual fact a word that discriminate against them. They get rejection and they do not feel welcome. So it's a great challenge for them. Another thing that Babane states about poor language proficiency, he said in his research findings that poor language proficiency causes a lot of negative emotions among immigrant learners. And the language barrier also creates negative social interactive patterns between learners. Now, this is not only true for learners, but it's also true for adults. Well, I'm living in Victoria West, a small rural town in the Northern Cape. What I began to notice amongst foreigners is that they start to learn the indigenous language. In our case, it's Afrikaans and isiXhosa. So they realize that they have to learn this language. They have to learn Afrikaans, they have to learn isiXhosa in order to communicate effectively and to avoid the discrimination that comes with not knowing the indigenous language. So if you ask me, how can we help? How can we deal with this? Now, before I go there with some sort of a recommendation, William Keyser wrote how the foreign parents started to craft their own solution or somewhat survival strategy. He calls it a language broker. It's where the parents start to use their children to mediate and to talk on their behalf. And they call that a language broker. Children are easy to assimilate into the culture and into the language. So if you ask me, what can we do about this? Well, my recommendation would be that we bring the issue of difference into all the teachings of culture. Teaching our people that if someone is not speaking your indigenous language, it doesn't mean he's not a human. You shouldn't dehuman him. But he's still a human. He's just different. And he just has a different language. If we can embrace difference and become more open to learn from the difference and the distinctness of other groups, then I think we would cut out prejudice and cut out discrimination and not treat other groups with contempt. So my recommendation and my encouragement is that we should embrace and celebrate the differences. And we should also look for the similarities and be more open to learn from the other culture groups. Thank you.